it's time to get up. You're gonna miss the school bus.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm out with my buddy Mike.
Hey.
We're out on a duo hot tent trip and we're in the forest full of firewood. This location has a ton of dead standing hardwood and softwood. So we both have two separate hot tent setups. Very, very similar. So our loadouts are actually scary similar. We have two identical backpacks. We're running the same tent, the same stove, but we'll get into the gear a little bit later on. So today it is very cold. I believe it's around -10. -10 or -12 degrees Celsius, I think my truck said.
Yeah, the wind chill.
Plus a wind chill. It is massive windy out today. So we're going to get set up. Mike is going to take this location right here where we're sitting. And I picked out a location just over a few feet that way. It looks like it'll work out for both tents. So we're going to get our gear unpacked, get set up, and then we'll bring you guys back and show you a little bit of the setups. And then it's going to be firewood time because we're going to need a ton of firewood.
Yeah.
So I'll let you have this spot. I'm going to head over there and let's get set up.
I'll get Karen.
All right, guys, I got my tent, my stove, and my sleeping stuff completely set up, as you can see in the background here. Now, the ground that I'm camped on, after I dug down to the ground, is actually a big hole over there. So I had to push the tent this way. I think it'll work. It's going to be more of just get in and go to sleep for tonight. Unfortunately, this location is not the greatest. Mike is still setting his tent up and stove over there. We'll take a look at that a little later on, but right now I'm basically going to start collecting some firewood. Going to get my saw put together, and I'm going to collect a little bit of wood around this area, just enough for my stove basically. And then once he's done, we're both going to start collecting wood for an outdoor fire, and then he'll do the same thing, is get enough wood for his indoor stove as well. So it is very, very windy out too. I will mention it's cold and it is windy. So like I said, I'm going to get my saw together, and I'm going to start collecting a little bit of firewood, get it inside of the tent, and carry on with the day. All right, guys, we got both of our tents set up, both of our stoves are set up. Everything so far is looking really good, but I'm working up a massive sweat because now we're starting to collect all the firewood for outside, plus getting this firewood all kind of situated here to burn. So we are on a little bit of a hill. We got this log over here as a bench, and then we got this big log here for kind of a blocking log to keep the fire in and not on our feet. It'll also serve as a warming bench, kind of. We can put our pots here and keep things warm, like food items and drinks. But basically what we're going to be doing is getting this fire going really soon, because looking over at the sun, we probably only have about 2.5, maybe 3 hours left of sunlight. So, Mike, I think it's your time to light the fire. Last trip, I think the last 2 trips I lit the fire.
Last trip you did, for sure.
I think it's your turn. You're up.
And time before that, back in... No, we had our own set. No, we didn't. No, you did.
Definitely your turn.
Back in the summertime.
So Mike's going to get the fire going tonight. It'll be his honor. It's been a little while since he's done it, so we can see how rusty he is at it.
Well, hopefully not too bad.
We're going to get a big bunch of birch bark down in here, and then a whole bunch of dried pine.
Yeah.
We're just going to pile it in, and we're just going to light an inferno right off the bat. Hopefully get a long fire going. Do our coffee, and then it's going to be do our supper. He's got chili, I've got steak, so let's get on with it. All right, guys, Mike did a pretty decent job with the campfire. That thing is ripping right now. We've gone ahead and thrown a couple logs in there. And now it is time for coffee, because I have not had a coffee all day and I'm getting a little antsy. So I did bring my titanium kettle, but those of you who are regular viewers on the channel know that that kettle does not ever go over the fire, because I like the color that it turns. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, hopefully you'll see it tomorrow morning when I bring it out. But for the evening, I'm going to be putting my 750 ml titanium pot on the fire. And that's basically going to be my way to make water and make coffee and hot drinks and stuff, as well as ramen noodles for later on if I do get hungry. I am going to be cooking my food over the fire, so I did bring a steak. I'm going to be popping that over the fire on the grill, cooking it caveman style, sort of. But for right now, I'm going to get my pot full of snow and start making up some water and get that coffee on the go. Alright guys, we got our pots on the fire right now, melting down some snow / ice, because this is basically ice particles underneath of the ice. It's not really snow anymore, but we got both of our pots on the fire right now. We're going to make up a coffee really quick, and then I think we're going to get some more logs on there, and we're going to start off supper rather early and basically kind of beat this rush of sunset, because the sun is going down quite quickly. And we want to kick back and relax this evening. We don't want to be doing a whole lot of work and messing around. So we just want to get this coffee water done up, make some coffee, enjoy that, and then go right into cooking and get our suppers done up. Alright guys, we got our hot cups of coffee on the go right now, and we're just soaking in some of this heat from the campfire. The sun is setting rather quickly, so the light's changing dramatically, very quickly actually. It was just sunny in here a minute ago, and it is like basically blue hour right now. So nightfall is almost here. The wind is very high, so we get a lot of gusts of wind, and that's kind of why we chose to put the fire here. So give you guys a little bit of a reference. My tent is over in this direction, and Mike's tent is directly behind the camera. The sparks mainly are going that way, so we should be safe from all the sparks if the wind does kick up. But we're just going to kick back, enjoy our coffee for a few more moments, and then we're going to get our food cooking on the fire. All I can smell is pine right now, Mike.
Did you shove that up your nose?
No? All right, guys, it's that time to get cooking. I've got my steak on the fire off to the side. Mike did bring chili. He brought chili from home. It's actually frozen in a bag, a big old brick, so that's kind of convenient bringing that out. I would have normally just made chili out here, but that's actually a pretty good idea to just freeze it up in a big block and then bring it out. He has it down on the ground in a pot, so he's got that nice coal bed down there, which is going to cook it up, so pretty awesome for that. So, and this is pretty awesome too.
Getting a little cold. Oh.
Check this out.
Whoops.
Hold it up. Hold it up.
What?
No, do the front
wait,
first.
Wait.
Do the front.
Yep.
Can you see me?
Flip it around.
You lie. So that's a sweater that I made a long time ago. I don't even know if they're still for sale anymore. The camouflage. I think Mike bought it right away. I don't even know if that's still available on the store. I haven't checked.
I don't know. I was looking on it the other day.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it on there.
I don't think it's still available anymore. I don't know. I have to take a look and see if that's available. Yeah. If it is, I'm gonna get one for myself, and I even put the logo on the sleeve.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome. So I've got the logo on the sleeve, logo on the front or the back? On the back. So pretty awesome. But like I said, we got our food on the fire right now. It is getting quite cold, so I might even throw on my wool anorak a little later on. And my steak is dripping in the fire right now. I can see that. That's looking pretty good.
Speaking of steak.
And yeah, pretty good food.
Oh, I brought beer this time. There.
Woo!
You can read to them.
What is this? Brown Ale.
Beerwick Brown
From
Ale.
Smokehouse Brewery. So this is a local brewery, actually.
Brewed.
Berwick, Nova Scotia.
Okay.
I'm going to crack into that in just a few moments, actually.
Actually, that one's mine.
That's you.
That one's mine.
Mine.
Oh no.
All right.
This one's yours.
Oh, I'll take that one. I'll take that one.
Being a porter guy.
Punch Hill Porter. 5.2%.
This is 4 points. Nope.
I thought it was 5.2.
5.2.
5 so they're the same. So this is a porter, same brewery. So it's a microbrewery from Berwick, Nova Scotia. Punch Hill Porter, and what did I say that was? Brown Ale?
This is a Beerwick Brown Ale.
Beerwick Brown Ale.
Yeah.
Gotta like that.
Oh. You want your other one now?
2?
Yeah, I got you too, man.
I got smoke in my face. What is this? Smokin' IPA. I wonder if it's a smoked IPA or if it's just they're naming it Smokin' IPA.
I don't know. There's a description in the...
I'm gonna read this.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's smoked. So it is made with Citra and Cascade hops, which are really good.
Warrior hops too, I think.
Warrior hops. I haven't had Warrior hops, but Citra and Cascade are very, very prominent hops that I've had in a lot of IPAs. Interesting. So we got some craft brews on the go, so that's pretty awesome.
I'm not much of a craft beer kind of person, but I had this at the, well, little pubbery type thing, and it was really, really good. So I bought myself a can of it. I bought him, actually that's cans 5 and 6 I bought for him so
yes,
far.
He actually bought me 4.
4 more
last week, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I like the color scheme on the cans.
Yeah.
They're actually pretty neat. So they're all like tan, browns, and just kind of neat little colors.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty awesome. So yours, brown ale.
Mine was the Beerwick, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem,
We're going to crack into these while we enjoy our food. I'm going to flip my steak because that's getting cooked up pretty nicely.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the porter first. I'm going to do a porter in just a few moments. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to cook up our food and basically eat up and then get everything cleaned up before nightfall. All right, gonna dig into the steak, cut it open and see what she looks like. Probably gonna lose it on the ground, actually. I hope not. Working with limited space here in this log.
It's not working right.
There we go. This log doesn't want to play ball. I think we're good right there. All right. Oh yeah. It is well done. It was a thinner steak, so kind of cooked a little quickly. Oh yeah.
So chili back to the fire.
Flavor's still there though. That is good. Oh yeah.
But that porter's gonna taste good with that steak.
That porter is gonna taste good with that steak. It's actually a really good beer.
I think in a few more minutes I'm gonna crack into mine.
Yeah.
Getting a little thirsty.
Peel that chunk off there. Oh yeah. Can't beat steak over the fire. Can't beat it. That's really good.
I'm gonna finally stop bleeding.
Mike cut himself with his knife, by the way.
Yeah.
Self-inflicted injury. I swear.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it is now pitch black out. We've been sitting here for a few hours, just having fun, chatting back and forth. We're almost out of firewood for the outdoor fire, so I've actually loaded on the last 2 pieces, which means it is almost bedtime. So I'm gonna be going over to my tent. Mike's gonna be going over to his very shortly and get the tents warmed up, light the wood stoves, and pretty good time so far.
Oh, I'm having fun.
Other than the smoke that keeps blowing in our faces
Yep.
and driving us insane, we're actually having a pretty good time. So, I mean, it's warm. We still got our sweaters on in front of the fire. Very, very hot. As soon as we move away from it, very, very cold. So,
Or if that wind kicks up in behind us, well,
yeah.
so
I'm excited to go in my tent and get away from the campfire. I can tell you that right now. I'm excited to get away from this. So, that's exactly what we're going to be doing very, very shortly. We're going to clean all of our gear up. And like I said, head over to each of our tents and basically call it a night.
pretty much, yeah.
And then tomorrow morning, get up, do some coffee, breakfast, and hopefully get this fire going again. And then we'll have an area to kind of stay warm while we pack up our tents and whatnot. So that sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right, we'll let this burn out a little bit and then over to the tent. Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful morning it is today. We've got fresh snowfall. Pick up all those little snowflakes kind of pushing through the trees. Pretty awesome out here. So if you'll look over my shoulder, that smoking thing that looks like a smoking freight train is Mike's tent. Now, when I woke up, I looked out the door. There was no smoke coming from his tent. And then I heard a stove door open and shut, and then smoke started rolling out of it. It's been doing that for the last hour. So that tells me that he put wood in there, shut the door, and went back to sleep. So it's just smoldering away. And one thing with Mike is when you go camping with Mike, it's basically like having children and a school morning. Watch, I'll show you.
Oh, Mikey! Mikey, it's time to get up. You're gonna miss the school bus.
I've been up for off and on for hours all night.
Mikey, hurry! You're gonna miss the school bus.
Good old fun. So Mike is awake now, and he'll probably roll out of his tent. I'm still looking over there. I don't see the smoke rolling anymore, so his wood stove must have caught fire. And I'm gonna pour myself another cup of coffee. My tent is absolutely too hot. So yesterday I mentioned that we brought a lot of the same gear, and kind of scary the amount of similar gear that we brought. So we both have the exact same stove, which is my signature edition Lone Wolf 902 stove, my titanium stove. We both have those, but we have different length chimneys. So I cut mine down to 5 foot roughly to fit a specific tent that I have. He's got a 2-meter pipe. We both have Boreal saws. Now he has the Boreal 21, I have the Boreal 24. We both have the exact same backpack, identical. So same tent, same stove, same saw. Oh, same tent, that's where I was missing. So we have the exact same tent, except mine's in canvas and his is in 300D Oxford. So we've got a very, very similar loadout for this trip. The only thing that's different is our cooking kit and our sleeping pads and sleeping bags and stuff like that. But essentially, a lot of things are very, very similar. So that's pretty cool going out with the same kit, the same gear. You know that it's gonna work. Just kind of watching your friends use it over time. So if you do have friends that are camping a lot, check out what they're using. And that's usually a good spot to start with gear. Ask how they like it. If they like it, it must be good and it'll probably work for you. So as you can see, the snowflakes are starting to pick up. It started late last night blowing snow through the treetops when we were over by the fire, and then it stopped. And by that time we just came into the tent. He went in his, I came in mine, zipped the door shut. Didn't think anything of the snow. I woke up this morning, there was no snow, and then it just started out of nowhere. So pretty gray up there in the sky. I'm not sure if it's gonna snow a whole lot today or not, but I'm gonna enjoy my coffee. Get a couple more sticks in the stove here. I'm gonna sit down on my sleeping pad and chill out for a few minutes and wait for Mike to arise from his dungeon. Mike! School bus!
What?
Gonna miss the school bus! Kids. All right, guys, Mike is finally up doing his morning coffee routine. we've piled the fire basically full of all of our leftover firewood from both tents. So hopefully that'll take off in a big fireball any minute. And basically it's just gonna be pack up time. So I've already done my breakfast. Mike, like I said, still doing his coffee routine. And we're gonna have the fire set so we can come over here, warm our hands up, and then go back and pack up gear and so on. And hopefully this will burn nicely, and then we'll basically put out whatever's left over before we take off, because we do still have to dump our wood stoves into the fire because they do have coal and ash in them. So we'll do that and bring you guys back after we're all packed up and let you know how both of our nights went, because they were kind of different. So we'll get to that in just a few minutes. All right, guys, we got all of our gear packed away, and as you can see, it is snowing, so I think it's going to snow for the rest of the day. It's nothing major, just some nice fluffy snow, but we are completely packed up. Both of our tent areas off camera are kind of interesting because they're not exactly round shaped. Our tents were actually pitched more of an oval, which was kind of not favorable, but it worked. We made it work for the night. So all in all, pretty good trip.
I had fun. I was a little cold overnight, but
Yeah,
my
yes.
stove was sitting
Yes.
a little higher than what I was.
So that was the difference between our setups, is I was actually warm, but uncomfortable because I was on a hill and I was sliding, and there was nothing that I could do. I packed snow under my pad to stop sliding, but it was a constant battle of sliding, but I was warm. Mike had an issue of sliding as well, and he was cold because of his sleeping pad. So he's going to be upgrading his sleeping pad at some point. But it is a costly investment, so it's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But all in all, awesome trip. 2 Pomali tents, 2 of the same stoves, 2 of the same saws, 2 of the same backpacks. We had a very, very similar kit this time.
Yeah.
So really great time. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching. And we're going to say peace out for now. Pack the camera away, and we're going to hit the trail. Peace out.